A product manager is like the person who's coordinating an orchestra of software developers and designers and doing a lot of research into what is the music that's working out and giving that to the users. And if that one is right, that explodes. From 2017 to 2019, there has been a 32% increase in the US alone for product management related jobs, versus on average the general job market had just a 6.6% increase. Now, if we are witnessing such a huge surge in the demand for product managers, there is definitely some opportunity coming. And a lot of people from business roles or software roles are switching into product roles. Now, why is that happening? Why is there such a huge demand? The first thing is, there are just too many startups coming in, and all of them are like tech startups. Now, if so many tech startups are going to come up, it's just easy to build the product, right? You can think of an idea, you will have a very well designed product maybe in months, and you can start rolling it out to users. And there is no problem of scalability, and it's just almost no cost to maintain it. So now what happens is that if you can just build a simple product, scale to millions of users, you don't have much to maintain. It's very easy to build a tech product. A lot of people are going to jump into it. So there are a lot of business people who have jumped into building their own tech products. And now, as startups as well as big companies are all in this playground building so many tech products, there are a lot of software developers. Why? Because in the earlier generation, software development was the popular thing everybody went for. And now, because we have so many software developers, everybody just wanted to get into software development. There is a surplus of software developers building amazing products. But now, if we have so many amazing products, we're going to need product managers, and that's why they are in high demand. You see, most of these products, they are all shipped to millions of users. So now you put yourself in that perspective and start thinking now that if you are going to hire a product manager, you are giving that person the responsibility to manage a product for your business, which is providing some value to, say, 1 million users. If the person misses out on something which is happening in the market in terms of the competitor, or misses out on some small feature or integration that they should do. I mean, just look at a simple thing. Earlier, we used to develop so many sites from where we would like to do transactions. There are a lot of tools which came up, but the ones which succeeded were those which gave automated payment gateway integrations. If we had to work so hard to just implement a payment gateway, then we would probably, in general, the user would probably not want to use that kind of a product to build their business. Or if a user is having an experience of using a product where the payment experience for the user is bad, they have to do too many things, they have to enter too much of information, or if the onboarding experience is bad for the user and the user journey is bad in some specific area where their problem did not get solved. I recently wanted to have some legal problems solved and get some registration and stuff done, and I tried a lot of products. Many products in the user journey, what they did was they wanted me to pay before I spoke to any salesperson. Now I'm using the product, I haven't spoken to a salesperson, I have to pay before that. And the payment is happening on the website. There's no account made for me also. I do the account creation in the payment creation process. That did not feel safe to me. And the website wasn't the best in terms of its design, so I did not feel like using it. Similarly, if you look at stock market trading platforms, I was working with a company from a local area. I knew those people who were running that stock market business. So they said that because of some friend of friend, we thought that okay, we can trust them and stuff. So I thought, okay, well, I'll start investing using their app. And their app was functional, but the design was so difficult that I wasn't able to understand how much money I put into what and be able to do any comparison. The journey from point A to point Y was so confusing and so difficult that I couldn't like get from this to the other point. It was always a big stress that, oh, I'm not getting the product. Oh, this is so complicated. And then came platforms like Grow, Zerodha, Upstocks. So many of these platforms are just out there and growing in huge numbers these days, which are making all of these so easy to navigate through. Your stocks, mutual funds, blah blah, whatever, you can navigate through all of these easily. And I automatically, what happened was I automatically made this switch, and I stopped investing via that app. Slowly I started taking all the investments out from that platform, and I switched my Demat account to something which was so much better designed and easy. Now over there, they also were asking for extra approvals and so many things because in the initial onboarding, their design wasn't good. And now I'm not even bothered about so many approvals or verifications or proofs, that because I'm not going to invest with them. So just like that, users are not loyal. They're looking for comfort. They're looking for something which solves the problem very simply. And now if they are able to get any app which does that and makes life easier, they're going to stick to that. And what product which they are interacting with, mostly is digital products which we are talking about, if they're not getting a very convenient experience or an experience where they are feeling so happy because of the design or because of the experience of using it, the product will not beat the other options, and users will stick to the one where their experience is the most comfortable. Users are lazy also. They don't want to go through all of this process of learning each time. They want to stick to something where on one screen they can have the full experience. And now it is getting even more and more like deeper, that you give a user an experience of using, suppose it's an app, can you make it in such a way that with just one finger they can use the whole interface and navigate through everywhere, instead of having to hold the phone in two hands, or instead of having to move or change the grip of the phone, they'll have to press on the top, or keep shifting the angle of how they hold the phone. Say I have this phone here, I don't want to be in a position where to interact with the product I continuously, now if I'm clicking below, I want to shift my hand up, it's going to be so difficult for me to just all the time keep shifting. And that is also one of the reasons where psychologically we may or may not realize, but we get a bad experience. And if a product manager did not think of these things, millions of users are gone. And if a product manager thinks of these simple things, millions of users can come in. And that is why there is a huge risk. And product managers are paid well because they are very skilled at understanding these user journeys and taking the right decisions for the product development, building the right roadmap, that the experience for the millions becomes better, the business grows, and the impact for the business is so big because of that there is a huge value that the product manager is providing to the business, and that's why they are paid well. Because otherwise, who else is going to take these minute decisions? It can be an internal feature, it can be an internal user journey feature, it can be something where they are also having to do something which is unplanned. Sometimes a lot of firefighting comes up. Sometimes it's about being creative about a new monetization method, about a new thing that we can do in terms of the pricing. Hey, let's price this in 3 tiers, and in the third tier we're going to do this pricing. I was using one product where they priced the thing very smartly. For 1 month you have to pay $199. For 1 year we have a 91% discount, so you have to pay $199. And for 6 months you have to pay $399. So the second option was placed in such a way that I was almost like, hey, I need to go buy this, and this is a no-brainer. But actually their product real pricing is $199 only. They just price the other two things in such a way that you are now so much more convinced that you want to buy that product. So like that, a lot of things, like in terms of how they're designed, how they are shown to the user, can really change the game. If out of 10 million users using a product, because of the great experience, and now that their habit is built, they're not going to change their habit. They're not going to reverse back to a life. I mean, now cars are everywhere. Like, they're all out there, right? Now we can't imagine a world without cars. We can't imagine a world where we're not able to travel that easily. We're not going to go back, right? Similarly, if a user gets a good experience, they can't go back to something which does not give that good an experience. Or they don't want to relearn something also which gives them so much of hardship, as well as it's difficult to transfer everything to the new place as well, right? The whole data that the user has built for that product, the whole set of things that the user has learned, the hacks within a product, because there are so many things within a product. I mean, imagine somebody who's playing a game. The person has gone to level 9 in that game. Now a new product comes into the market. It is going to be so difficult to shift that user who's reached level 9 in that game to switch to a new thing and forget about all of that progress here. So that is also one thing that a new product manager who's better can make it happen for all of these users. So a product manager is like the person who's coordinating an orchestra of software developers and designers, and doing a lot of research into what is the music that's working out and giving that to the users. And if that one is right, that explodes. So that's why product managers are paid well, and that's something that you want to think about if you want to get into product management, because you're going to be a mini CEO. Nobody else can give you many of the answers. It's a chaotic role. You will have to come up with the questions and you will have to come up with the answers. Many times, if you don't have all the information, you'll have to keep probing and asking questions to everyone in the team so that the collaboration is set and so that the chances of something which is an unplanned event is lower. I mean, you don't want to miss out on designing, like before the software development, you're planning the design. You don't want to miss out on one thing that, hey, I forgot to plan this small feature. And now we're going to have to do so many things just to change something's color. Like, for example, if you're building a website and most of the colors are hard coded, tomorrow if you want to build a dark mode for that website, now the text has to alternate in color and all the other web pages have to alternate in color, or there has to be some logic if it also changes just because of page by page interaction. If some page is black, some page is white. Now if you did not store the colors and call it in the form of some function or any other feature, if you did not get it compartmentalized in the right way, because the software developers are anyway going to do that. But if you don't ask them to do some big function and don't ask them to build it in the form of a compartmentalized structure, probably many of the issues in firefighting can become so hard that the roadmap you have planned, that hey, we're going to do this in 1 month, this we're going to do it in 2 months, that might be difficult to meet. And that again is a risk that the business is taking on you, that you're going to ensure that these unforeseen events don't happen and you're able to deliver the right features required on time, and the features that you have thought of are the right ones that the users want, and everything is market ready. You have not missed out on an integration which some unique company launched in some area, and so many users want that integration in that product. You don't want to miss that. There are a lot of other ways also creatively coming up with the product. For example, if you have a product which you're managing, many of the things in terms of the integrations, you can launch a documentation with an API and you can just allow developers in the public to integrate with you, and there can be some automation around that as well. So even in terms of integrations, and that's a whole new topic that product managers are getting into these days. That's the new challenge actually, which is going to be, because many of the products will have captured users. Right now 50,000 new users are coming in India on the internet, so you still have a lot of new users to keep capturing. But once many people have reached level 9 in their products, they're not going to keep shifting. They're going to stick to that product because this product knows what they want. This product is going to give them better offers and experience from any other product. In any other product, they'll have to go back to that journey of level 0 and keep building their profile and whatever else, right? So they're not going to shift easily. So there will be a time where your product can have this many users and it's not going to change that drastically. Earlier, if you did anything on YouTube, you got maybe 1 lakh views, but now there is just everybody in this free market, and so if you do something, you probably are not going to grow that fast. You're going to have to ensure that whatever you did is fitting somewhere in a unique way and be able to build that community of people who really want to follow you, and then it happens. You're not going to have the opportunity which PewDiePie has had, so that's going to happen in the product play also, because earlier it was not this easy to build a product. Probably it took 3 years to build a product. Now it's taking maybe 2 months to build a product. And I've seen that journey happen where products took like a year to build, and then products took like 6 months to build, and now products are taking 3-4 months to build. And I have witnessed this happen with so many products already. The development teams are getting better, the development tools are getting better. Anything you think of really comes out very fast these days. So there is just a huge plethora of products which are going to come out. Just like a YouTube video, it's going to be as easy. So product play is going to become more of a integrations and what other things you can do to integrate with other products. That is going to be also one of the hacks, I think, that one has to be able to come up with, and that requires a lot of creativity. Because how can an Uber integrate maybe with an e-commerce company and provide shipping services? That can be a market to target. And right now Uber and Swiggy have launched all of these, like Swiggy Genie, I think they call it, where you can send a parcel somewhere. This is similar to the model that Dunzo started off with. So many products are also so high in terms of the users they have. A competing product which came in, they just tweaked a little bit, added a little bit of features there, did a few partnerships, and automatically they have a huge marketplace where they're launching to millions of users, providing the service of being able to deliver something from your house to your friend's house. So this play is going to become faster and faster, and to survive in this, the product manager has to be really, really skilled. So it's going to be fun. It's a role in high demand. Probably the demand is still going to keep rising until it reaches a point where nobody has that much of interest in developing maybe that kind of a product. But I don't know. It's going to be a future which I don't know how to predict that, but I don't know what to predict about it. But it's going to be interesting to see what comes up.